Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Wanted to share with you an update from the VA regarding the recent change in the rating schedules for digestive system. Now, this is really important, and there's one nugget in here specific that is a really, really good one. And guess what? They don't talk about GERD in this update, which is fine because I've covered that. But I did want to get this in front of you. If you missed it, because it is important, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. If you would, please make sure you watch the video. That's what really helps, and hitting that thumbs up really helps. Those are the two things that push this information out to all of us. All right, so let's jump into it here. The headline is VA updates disability rating schedule for digestive system. This came out March 19th, 2024. And I'm going to throw out there, if you already have a rating in any of these specific ailments or conditions that you're grandfathered in, there's no need to stress out. If you already have a rating. If you don't have a rating for your condition, then you need to file for your current condition, because you must be diagnosed in order to file for it. Or if you're not, go get diagnosed as soon as possible, so that way you can file for your condition while we're kind of in this limbo land. Okay, this is really important, and I'll double down on that here in a minute. So let's jump into this and we'll see what nuggets we can pick out. So today, VA announced an update to the VA schedule for rating disabilities, specifically pertaining to digestive conditions. The changes add or modify rating criteria for 55 medical conditions in the rating schedule that incorporate medical advancements for treating certain disabilities and modern medical knowledge to compensate veterans more accurately. The three biggest changes that will impact you as veterans include the new evaluations for celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and hemorrhoids. So, moving on here. Beginning May 19th, that's not very far away. Here we are in March, we got April, May, right? So May 19th is when this goes into effect. This is a very, very, very important date. If you have any conditions in the digestive system book of rating schedule, their schedule of ratings for digestive system, you need to file at least, at a minimum, an intent to file prior to May 19th. Why? Because what will happen will be you will get evaluated for your condition. The VA will look at both the current rating schedule and the new rating schedule, and whichever one you rate higher in, that's the one you will get. Very important time frame, and it's a small window that many people miss. So I'll talk about that again toward the end of this. Beginning May 19th, celiac disease, an autoimmune disorder that impacts how the body processes gluten, will have its own rating criteria specifically designed to address its disabling effects. Veterans with this condition were previously granted service connection by evaluating it, basically using another rating schedule criteria that ranged from 0 to 30%. Now, under the specific diagnostic code, veterans will be eligible for an evaluation ranging from 0 up to 80% for celiac disease. Now, that is a huge jump. Any of you out there that are on the current rating schedule for celiac from 0 to 30, you could potentially be going up to 80%. So keep an eye on that. Super important. All right. VA will also adjust the rating criteria for evaluating irritable bowel syndrome, also known as IBS. Previously, VA offered 0, 10, and 30% evaluations for the condition. Under the new criteria, veterans may be entitled to 10, 20, or 30. So they threw the 20% in there, which is great. Based on the frequency of symptoms. Therefore, the new rating criteria will always offer a compensable evaluation. So they dropped the 0, essentially dropped the 0 and added a 20. So your three ratings now are 10, 20, and 30 instead of the 0, 10, 30. All right, moving on. Finally, VA addresses the evaluations for both internal and external hemorrhoids. Previously, VA assigned 0% evaluation if the condition was identified as mild or moderate. For more severe findings, a 10% or 20% evaluation was warranted. With the new rating criteria set in the rating schedule, mild or moderate hemorrhoids will now qualify for the 10% evaluation. There's quotation here, and then there's a little more meat, so hang on, just doubling down directly from the VA. These are just a few changes being made to how conditions of the digestive system are being rated based upon medical information, said Undersecretary for Benefits Josh Jacobs. My rooster's on one. I don't know if you can hear him. He's out there. He's a little bit far. His name's Stan, if you don't know. All right, the updates and I'll introduce everybody to Stan. I did a video a while back called like Meet the Rooster or something like that. But I will do another one. All right, so the updates will bring the rating criteria more closely in line with the stated purpose of the rating schedule, which is to provide evaluations based upon average impairment of earnings capacity for each and every veteran. There will be no change to any veteran's current rating based solely on these updates. That means you're grandfathered in. If you currently receive compensation for a service-connected condition, you can apply for increased compensation. The example here would be celiac disease. So if you meet criteria for a higher rating, you would want to absolutely file for an increase. The VA is not going to do it for you. Even if they have all the information, they're not going to go, oh, well, you actually meet the higher one. We'll go ahead and do that for you. No, you need to go in and ask for that increase. Let's move on. So a reduction in evaluation will only occur if there is improvement in a disability sufficient to warrant a reduction under the former criteria. So again, if you would rate a lower criteria, a lower rating on the new criteria, that's fine. They got to look at the old criteria and look at that to see if you would warrant a lower criteria. Claims related to these body systems that were pending on May 19th, which means anything that you file before May 19th that is pending, not decided, but pending, they're still working on it, which also should include intent to file, right? So make sure you put your intent to file in. So claims related to these body systems that were pending on May 19th, that's when this goes into effect, will be considered under both the old and the new rating criteria. And whichever criteria is more favorable to you, the veteran, will be applied. So, for example, if you filed for celiac disease because you never filed for it, but you filed for it now, you put it in, and they decided after May 19th, they're going to look at both rating schedules. If you rate a 30 in the current, but you rate a 80 in the new, then they're going to give you the 80. Or vice versa. If you rate 30 in the old and you rate 10 in the new, they're going to give you the old at 30. Very, very important time frame that we are in today. Thank you so much. This should also include GERD, which I've done videos on GERD. So same thing applies. Put in the intent to file now. You're not going to be at risk by doing that. You're just going to preserve this magical window of opportunity. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you truly so very much. Thank you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.